Hi everyone, my name is Dominique and I'm a senior analyst at PSC. Today, I'd like to discuss the impact of GenAI of LLMs on the software development lifecycle and especially on an activity called testing or software testing or quality engineering. If you've been in this industry, to give you a bit of context, the software development activities, development lifecycle activities, this is where GenAI in IT services is going to have most impact. And within what we call the LDLC, the software development lifecycle, testing is one where actually the prospects of the expectations of cost savings, of productivity gains are the most. So I'd like today to discuss this, highlight the benefits of the LLMs quickly, but also share a few thoughts about how we should use LLMs for the clients. First of all, I need to acknowledge that the LLM tools, they're amazing. What we call functional testing, which is probably 70% of software testing spending. In functional testing, the LLMs are amazing. You create test artifacts within seconds. You're just automating very quickly something that may take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 2 weeks to create. So the benefits are amazing, but you also need to take those benefits of LLMs to take the LLMs within the enterprise context. And let me make a few points here. First of all, when we're using the LLMs, they're into sort of a greenfield approach. So this is as if the client did not have any artifacts or test cases or test scenarios or test scripts. And the reality is the clients, the buy side have created those test artifacts in the past 25 years. So it's not uncommon for a bank to have 25,000 test cases, 25,000 test scripts. So the need then is not to create new test cases or test artifacts or test scripts. It's about making sense of the existing artifacts. It's about improving them. This is so the priority. A lot of clients just don't know what their test artifacts are. They don't know what they do. And those artifacts are not updated. They're not up to date. They haven't been maintained. So the first thing is to do a reality check on those artifacts, understand what they're for, and eliminate the redundant ones, improve the existing ones. That's priority number one. So this is the clients, the buy side has need for a brownfield approach, not a greenfield approach. Second point I'd like to make is still in this context is updating or maintaining the test scripts, especially in the agile world where you make incremental changes during the software development activities. Then you get a lot of changes in terms of functionality, small features or changing the objects or even the fields or some activities just as changing the name, and then your test script will fail. So the need for the client is really to maintain those test scripts so that they can actually then be run on the test engine tools. For these activities, for what we call self-healing, there are a number of tools available in the market. And so far, we haven't seen the LLMs being the most useful tools. That might change in the future, but not now. So what I'm saying from a brownfield context is we need more tools. We need the full tool ecosystem, and certainly LLMs will have their play, they will have their space, and they're going to be incredibly useful, but you just need to also the other tools. So again, the brownfield approach is the client priority, not a tabula rasa with doing everything greenfield. My third point really is you need to also to understand the benefits, but also the constraints of LLMs. Let me take a few examples. LLMs are coming with a cost if you're using the commercial ones. And you also have limitation on the number of tokens, on knowledge, on bringing the context of the client, of the buy side. So you need to understand those things. And in some cases, it will just matter. It will make more sense economically from a business perspective to use other tools or traditional machine learning, so to speak. There's also the fact that LLM tools or use cases are just non-deterministic. So you change a prompt and you get a different result, or you use the same prompt across different LLMs and you get a different result. And that non-deterministic nature does not work with testing. Testing is pass and fail. You need a clear picture. And so that's a constraint. The second constraint is going to be fees. Those LLM tools come with a price. It just makes more sense to use different tools in some cases. And then there's the environment element. The LLMs have a massive impact on electricity, on water consumption. So for those firms, especially in Europe, it just makes more sense to use the full tool ecosystem rather than using LLMs, because the talent is going to consider the sustainability of the firm. It just makes sense to be a good corporate citizen in a number of countries. And also there's regulation as well. So LLMs are wonderful tools, but they're just not the only tools. And this is why we need to come with a phased approach, with a well-thought approach to using those tools. And then the fourth point I'd like to mention is really about the elephant in the room. No one mentioned it explicitly, but if you get 40% of productivity gains or 30% of productivity gains in functional testing, that has a massive impact in terms of your people. Do you need all those people? Are you going to upskill them? How fast is that going to impact your testing teams? Or you are going to let them go? Are you going to make them redundant? So there's certainly using LLMs is not a technical tool, it's not a technical project anymore. It is a change management. It is a transformation activity. And then you need to think about the future. What do you do with the people? How do you change your tool ecosystem? It's well beyond the engineering approach of geeks using LLMs and finding those amazing capabilities. This is the enterprise context. So you need to think about the deeper impacts. And certainly again in Europe, that's going to be a big matter because the layoff costs are more expensive than say in the US or in India. This is the current station. This is the current thinking. I'd like to also mention a little bit of the future. And certainly if you probably, if you've been in the industry, everyone is talking about generative AI or AI agents. If you think GenAI is about making sense and creating knowledge, just like creating test artifacts, then agents are going to interact with software tools. And that's another step in the automation. So the industry loves talking about the future, but so far, I haven't seen too many agents, AI agents in software testing. Now, I know that's going to come, but right now they're very limited in nature. And really, I anticipate agentic AI in testing to come in 2-3 years, but not now. I think there's enough on the plate now for the transformation on the QA function, or the QA function, I should say. These were the thoughts and ideas I wanted to share with you. I think the future for testing looks very promising in terms of productivity gains, but this is not a greenfield approach. You need to take an enterprise brownfield approach. If you'd like to react to this video, let me know. I'd be more than happy to start the dialogue with you. Thanks for listening.